So most of you know I've been testing out this S9 for a long time now, for about a week or 2 weeks. And the last time I was with you, I was like, I want to take it to Manhattan, Kansas. I'm going up there for my daughter's little college visit. And I want to test it out this last weekend. And we're going to see how it goes. And then I'll report back. And by the end of that trip, I was like, by then I'll know whether I'm going to keep this camera or I like this camera at all or not. But to be honest with you, right before I left, as we were walking, just fixing to walk out the door, I got to thinking to myself, you know what, it's a brand new camera. I'm not super comfortable with it yet. Maybe I should just leave it here, take one of my Sony cameras, and that way I'll have it it'll be more comfortable while I'm on the trip. I'm more familiar with the cameras. The Sony, I'm not so familiar with the Panasonic, but I was like, you know what, this is going to be the good test for this camera. I've kind of messed with it enough. I should know my way around. I'm just going to take it, see what happens, and we're just going to let it rip, you know what I mean? So got up there, first day, we were walking around town just a little bit, and I'll show you some of that footage right now. So yeah, the image stabilization, all the footage that I got for the whole trip was completely unusable, shaky footage, which was weird because I've used this camera in the past and got excellent stabilization. I didn't know what had happened. But, I was using my C1 and C2 button, which are programmed into the camera. In my mind, the stabilization was what I set it to when I saved the custom functions. When I was reviewing it today, I was like, you know what? There's something not jiving with me with this camera. I don't know. I'm sending it back because for some reason I got unbelievably shaky footage. Something's going on. I don't know. I'm sending the camera back. It's just not working out for me. But as I was packing it up, I was definitely going to send it back. I had the box out. I had it cleaned up. Was packing it back in this box. I was like, you know what? I want to check this. I want to check one more time. I want to check my settings one more time. So I got into the settings and noticed that the image stabilization had been turned off somehow in the camera. And not only that, somehow in the camera, I saved it to C1 and C2 without the image stabilization on at all. I'd been working 2 days without any in-body image stabilization. And when I was, the 2 days I was gone, I didn't have time to review the footage at nighttime, so I had no idea that it was happening while it was going on. Now, there was, if you can see this little icon right up here in the top right-hand corner, that little bitty icon was red, and that's how I discovered that my in-body image stabilization was turned off. Now, I don't know what that little icon, what that is or what it stands for. Again, I'm new to this camera. And when I was out using the camera when I was in Manhattan, I noticed that little icon was red, but I didn't know what it meant, so I just kept on going because in my mind I had them set. But the image stabilization was turned completely off the whole time. All that footage was wasted. So I was like, well, I really can't talk to you about what I thought about the footage, So maybe I can talk about the user experience. And to be honest with you, while I was using the camera this weekend, I was like, this is the worst user experience I've ever witnessed in a camera. I cannot see the back screen. And it was cloudy both days I was there. There was no reason I shouldn't be able to see the screen. I couldn't make it out. I couldn't make it out. And when I could make it out, it was like super washed out. The screen, everything was just kind of like a bland, washed out color, if that makes any sense at all. Well, when I was going through the menus today, I noticed something interesting. So to turn up the monitor brightness, I was going to monitor settings in the camera and turning the brightness all the way to the top, which one would think that would be what you need to turn up, to turn the brightness up on the screen. But what that was doing was turn the brightness up on the actual picture on the screen, not the screen itself. That's why I couldn't see it. No, you have to go to monitor backlight, which is one step below that, and turn it all the way up to 3. And now it's easier to see. Like, what in the world? There's 3 places to change the monitor brightness setting on this camera. It's like too much. It is way too much. I don't understand. So, hey, I don't know. I don't know. I really can't say how the user experience was, because that was the biggest downside of the user experience. I couldn't see the screen, but I was turning up the wrong setting. And everything looked overexposed on the screen because I had the monitor brightness turned up, which is washing out the image. You see, user error is so huge in this. Oh, but I will say, I really do like the colors of the camera. And that's one of the reasons I just keep hanging in there with it. But boy, it has been an absolute struggle. It has been a struggle. So anyway, that's my story for the weekend. Absolute derail on the camera situation. I got a few good decent photos here and there of Manhattan and the surrounding area, but I guess I won't keep this camera for another week or so, see how it goes. Maybe I can figure out some of these settings along the way. Man, the struggle has been real tough, but that's how it went. So, and that's kind of the way things go from time to time. I'm not a camera expert, but bro, these menus are crazy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.